Hey everyone, welcome to day 3 of the exit. Oh my God, of the exit strategy formula workshop. Listen, I get tripped up too once in a while. That's the beauty of doing these things live, and that's the beauty of being yourself and being authentic when you show up online. So first, I want to talk about today is day 3 of the exit strategy formula workshop. I have walked you through day 1 and day 2, where I shared the exact strategies and the things that you need to launch your online coaching and consulting business and get your practice up to the par where you can have freedom, where you can work from anywhere, where you can impact clients globally, and you can truly have the lifestyle you desire. For those of you that don't know me, or today maybe you're just hopping on the first time on day 3, I covered all the things that you need. So go back. I have the replays. They're going to be live in a link. If you want to replay, just register for the workshop, which I'm going to drop the link below. Make sure you join me and watch the replays. I will be sending out the links to those replays. In these 3 days, so day 1 and day 2, I shared exactly how I went from being a hairdresser, a hairstylist and salon owner of 30 odd years to launching a super successful online coaching and consulting business. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I struggled. I failed. I made so many mistakes. I didn't know what the hell I was doing in the beginning because I was an experienced brick and mortar business owner. I came from the brick and mortar world. So it was really overwhelming for me. And being a little bit more mature, I'm not going to say old, I'm going to say mature, I found myself struggling sometimes. So I invested in mentors. I invested in a lot of different mentors who, helped me grow my business in many different ways. Some were great and some were not. Some I wasted money on and some I took away a lot of great things. So in this journey of starting my online coaching consulting business, I really have impacted so many people because now I share how I perfected that, right? What worked for me, and I'm sharing and teaching all the things so you don't have to do all the mistakes and you can create that freedom-based coaching, consulting, and mentoring business that you so much desire. So guys, wherever you're watching this, if you're live on Zoom with me, thank you for being here. If you're on Facebook, if you're on TikTok, if you're on everywhere, Facebook, Instagram, because I'm all over. We're streaming live today everywhere. So I want to thank you so much for joining me. Again, I want you guys to learn. So this is day 3. Day 3, we're talking all about wealth and mindset. Now, what does wealth and mindset have to do with anything? So all of us have a story, right? I mean, I came from dysfunction. I had a story. We all have a story. And if you think you don't have a story, you're full of shit, okay? But the thing is, if you want to elevate to the next level of your business, meaning you've been okay where you're at, you've been doing a great job in your brick and mortar business, you've been doing good owning a salon or a spa or a gym or a medi spa or a chiropractic office, like wherever you are as an established beauty and wellness professional. But you want to go the next step. Like you want to create more freedom. You want to create that plan B, right? You want to go online, but it's really scary. You feel like you may not be good enough. You hear all the voices in your head. You hear your family, you hear your friends, you hear your spouse, you hear your kids. That's what happened to me. Well, why do you need to do this? Well, you're just a hairdresser, but things are good just the way they are. Why are you looking to change things? I became bombarded with outside unsolicited advice and inside unsolicited advice from myself. Because guess what, guys? Those were old stories in my head. They were limiting beliefs in my own head that were keeping me trapped in a place of fear. So today I'm going to walk through a few simple things that you can do to really focus on your long-term goals, how to shift your mindset and step out of the limiting beliefs that are keeping you in a place that don't serve you anymore because it's comfortable, and making you realize the opportunities that you're losing and the disservice you're doing to yourself by staying in that limiting mindset because it feels comfortable because it feels safe. And then I have a special guest, one of my favorite all-time clients, Penny Hounsom's going to join us. She's going to be hopping in and she's going to be sharing with you her amazing journey. She's an amazingly successful coach. I'm going to let her explain everything she's doing to you because she's so brilliant. And she's been so successful that she actually made major mindset shifts. And there's a lot of surprises she's going to be sharing with you and her journey. So please stay tuned. Don't leave. Okay. So number one, I want you to take a deep breath. Let's all do this together. Come on. Ready? Put your feet on the ground and let's all breathe together. Come on. Take a nice deep breath. Get yourself grounded at the moment, right? We're always rushing. We're always hopped up. We're always going to the next thing. Let's get connected and let's get grounded. Connect with your soul now, your intuition. I want you to really reflect upon what is keeping you from taking that next step and taking your business online. What is the fear? First thing you feel is the truth. So don't dismiss it. That's your intuition. I want you to write it down. If you have a piece of paper, write down what is the fear. Now I want you to write down what's the story with that? Like my story was that if you make too much money, someone's going to take it away from you. Never let anybody know what you have. Okay, that was part of my story. So I had to do the work and say, well, is that true? Do people really take your money away from you? Of course it wasn't true. But that's what was embedded in my head. Just like some people's story might be, if you make too much money or if you're successful and you go online, you're taking away from someone else. Rich people are evil. There's a million stories, but your story is particular to you. So I want you to write down, what's your story that's keeping you locked in this place of not moving forward, in fear, in not feeling good enough. That's another thing. So many times I was so afraid of not feeling good enough. So the feeling of not being good enough, what are people going to think of me if I go online? What are people going to think if I sell my salon and I no longer do hair? Are people going to think I failed? Are people going to think I wasn't good enough? Do you guys see how you suddenly fall into a trap of feeling you're not good enough?
Oh, we're good.
Right? So guys, just make sure everybody, you mute yourselves, babes, please. Thank you. So you got to make sure that you are focused on being the story. Like, what is the story? Is it someone else's story? Because we want to think about, is the story true that you're telling yourself that's keeping you stuck in a place of not moving forward, that's keeping you in that self-sabotage? Because I went through this. 9 times out of 10, clients come working with me. We're growing their business. They're trying to bring their business online. They're trying to expand. They want to become a coach, a mentor. They're so effing brilliant at what they do, but paralysis kicks in. They become afraid. They retract. They're like, I don't know, Maria, what are people going to think? What's my mother going to think? What's my uncle going to think? What's my friends going to think? None of my friends do this. I'm not surrounded. And they become so overwhelmed that they freeze. But this is where we work on the mindset shifts. We work on you tapping into your soul, your being, and your being knows your truth. And you know the truth. So if there was a story that someone told you, not intentionally, probably, maybe intentionally, I don't know, we're going to go on the air of forgiving everyone for what they did to us. But the story of limitation, the story of lack, the story of not being good enough, the story of keep quiet, another thing, you're a kid, you're BC, not heard, all these stories that generationally were passed down to us, especially as women. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. And if any men are watching this, don't take it personally. This is a fact. Okay, so as a woman and you're trying to evolve in your business, the stories of negativity keep you stuck. So I want you to write down, what's the old story? And is that story true? And I'm going to bet you the list is going to be long. It's not just one story. I remember when my healer had me do this, I avoided this process like the plague. You know why? It was painful. It was painful for me to admit that at the time when I started my healing journey, I was a successful salon owner. I was in my 30s. I had massive financial success, but I never felt good enough. It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. So write down what the stories are, and don't be hard on yourself. Be really loving and gentle to yourself as you're writing these stories. Okay. And then next to it, each story, you don't have to do it right now. You can write as you're going, just write down the stories. I want you to write down, is that story true or not? Right? Is the story true or not? And to what point, if there is any truth, is it your story or was it someone else's story? Because 9 times out of 10, guys, all the limiting beliefs that we carry into our adult life, they're not our stories. They're our family stories, our caregiver stories, our teacher stories. One little trauma, one little episode imprints this story on you that has nothing to do with you. But yet we carry for a lifetime because we're impressionable. Right? So when I did this work with my healer and I learned to release the stories, I learned to release the limiting beliefs, I learned to release the pressure. I stopped beating myself up with this invisible bat that I constantly took out. I could breathe again. Now, this doesn't happen overnight. Shifting your mindset. This is only one little exercise in many exercises that we work on together in the Brilliant Business Reinvention program to bring your business online to become a coach. Because the truth is, guys, you need to work on mindset and you need to work on business. The marriage, it's all personal growth and business growth. That's what I bring to the table, and tapping into your intuition. Because without those, you're not going to get the results that you want, or the results are going to be short-lived. And when Penny comes on, my guest, she's gonna share something with you, how you do stay stuck until you truly own your own shit, work on your own shit, and step out of that old limiting mindset that's someone else's story and not your own story. So be mindful, guys. When you do this exercise, write down, what's the stories? There could be 50 stories. Is it true? And then whose story is it? Is it your partner's story? Is it your husband's story, your wife's story, your mother's story, your grandmother's story, your stepfather, an ex-boyfriend that, you know, it could be anybody. But be honest with yourself. Then you're going to sit there and release, allow that to move through you. You're going to close your eyes and you're going to process that. You're going to make it go through your body, travel down, don't let it get stuck, and watch it go down your legs and shoot out of your feet into the earth, like shooting out as if you're shooting out, like, I don't know, like a water out of a hose. Let all those energies and those false truths leave your body. I bet you didn't know you were going to have all this stuff too. You thought you were just learning business, but this is the magic. It's business and mindset and tapping into your intuition. Now, take a deep breath. I want you to take a nice deep breath again. And come back. And now I want you to just say to yourself, I am perfectly enough and more than enough. Because I can tell you guys, I work with some people who are making 7, 8 figures. And what's holding them back is someone else's story. They don't feel good enough, like, period. And I experience the same thing. This is why it's so important that we work on processing this. Now, moving on from that, you have to accept and be aware. It's the things we're gonna unlearn. See, when you're a brick and mortar business owner and you're established, right? You know, just like Penny was, and Lisa and Andrea and so many of my other clients, and Lena and Frank and so many people that work with me. They were successful. They had a business, a standalone location business. When they decided they wanted to grow and create a freedom-based business, they became fearful of, what happens if I let go of this? Will I fail? How about if I'm not as good at the new thing as I was at the old thing because I mastered it, right? These are all the fearful thoughts. How many of you guys, tell me in the chat, I want to hear in the chat, how many of you guys actually can relate to what I'm saying, right? Can you guys relate to what I'm saying about these feelings coming up when you're about to make a transition in your career, in your life, in your business, right? I know it. Yes, absolutely. Yes, yes. Penny says yes. Bridget says yes. Everything, because it's the truth. We become riddled with what if, what if. Amen. I love that. What if this, what if that, what if the other thing? I was the biggest guilty party of this because I was so afraid of not making it. I was so afraid. What if I fail? I'm so good at this. How about if I totally screw up? What are people going to think? Right? This was my own story. So when I released that story, I'm going to share with you how I released it, which is going to the next topic. I was able to breathe. So step one in releasing the story is investing in some personal development. Of course, if you work with me in the Brilliant Business Reinvention, we do a lot of releasing, we do a lot of energy work, and we do a lot of clearing and mindset shifting so you can step into your new role as your better version of yourself, right? Also, I can't stress this enough, guys. Be careful who you're sharing your good stuff with. This was a hard lesson I had to learn too. Surround yourself with like-minded people. What does that mean? That means if you're surrounded by people who are kind of limited thinkers and they're in the comfort zone and they're not doing what you do, or they can't support you in the movement you're making, you may have to limit your time with them. You may have to shift how you hang out with them. Quick story. In the beginning, when I started to make changes and I no longer could be supported by the circle that was around me at the time, I started changing how I hung out with people. I started changing, maybe you can not have dinner with these people in your family anymore for a little while, or with the people who can't support you. Maybe you can just have coffee, or you can say, I'm really busy at this time. I'll have to get back to you on that. The art of saying no and starting to protect your energy and who you're sharing your good stuff with is gonna be crucial. Because if you allow yourself to fall into that energy of people taking from you and not supporting you, that's not going to help. So this was one of the things I invested in myself. I had to make some major shifts in who I was hanging around with, how I was hanging around with them. It doesn't mean you got to go cut everybody off. It just means you have to shift how you're spending your time, who you're giving your energy to, who you're telling your good stuff to. And believe me, guys, not everyone is a candidate for you to share your good stuff with. Even though you might be well-meaning, and even though you think they may be part of your family and they love you and blah, 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 it's still not, you have to discern, are these people going to be able to support me in this journey? And you have to find new friends, a new circle. Surround yourself with people. I have plenty of groups. If you work with me, we all connect. I have you mingle and meet with people who are like-minded and all on the same journey. That's the beauty of being in a community of like-minded people. So I can't stress that enough in the mindset. And what else do we have to talk about? Let's see. So when you turn your knowledge and your expertise and your brilliance into a new business, that is giving the world so much good energy and so much opportunity. So you have to also own the fact that you deserve more. You're meant for more. There's nothing wrong with what you did before. There's nothing wrong that you want to change, and that it's okay. Total acceptance on your part and shifting your mindset to be like, you know what? I'm ready to make a change. I'm going to take these steps the way they work for me. And that's all that really matters. So guys, I'm going to bring in Penny now. Let's see, how do I get her to join here? Let's see, where's Penny? Oh boy, if I could find how to do this, that would be great. Let's see, Penny. Let's see, are you in there? Penny, can you hear me? Can you talk?
Yeah.
Unmute yourself. There you are.
I think I'm good. I'm all in.
All right, guys.
How you doing?
Listen,
Beautiful.
I love you so much. I can't believe you live in Costa Rica. I am so proud of you. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself and tell everyone what
Sure.
you do. And then I'll ask
Yeah.
you some questions so we can kind of share all the good stuff.
All right. I am now an one half of two Canadian expats living in Costa Rica. My business partner is also down here. So a couple of months ago, living in Toronto, I just not loving the vibe, not loving everything that's going on in the world. So I sold all of my shit and moved to Costa Rica. So since I'm online anyway, I am also a holistic health and lifestyle coach, and my specialty is in trauma, anxiety, and stress. And when I started out changing my business over, because the pandemic wiped out my business like most of the world, lost 80% of my business in about 24 hours with those constant emails. Gotta stay home, gotta stay home, gotta stay home. Like, it was insane. So this is a business that I had taken close to 20 years building, and it just wiped out like that. Not personal, it was global. So, you have to reinvent, you have to pivot, you have to figure out what you're doing. So during the pandemic, I increased my education, as well as started new programs online and they're all based for women. It's not that I don't work with men, I do, but I just understand women, hormonal, mind shifts. I'm a woman, so I get women. So when I first started working with Maria, it was really about getting in touch with what I really wanted to do and get authentic with who I am, and then have that authenticity shine through in my business. So especially when you're working with women with trauma, and that goes all the way back to, I've already lived all the traumas. So ladies, men, use your imagination. I was one of those adult survivors. On top of, it's gone from, being sexually molested by my grandfather, cousins, other family, to sexually abused, to mentally abused by my ex-husband, to divorce, which was ugly, to being robbed, and then my son died just because, it wasn't enough, apparently. So that was 13 years ago. The anniversary is coming up, but I took all of that and wanted to turn that around to help other women. And what I do, my partner and I do, is we coach with women. We do groups, we do one-to-one coaching, and help them move through their trauma, help them move through their procrastination, help them move through what holds them and keeps them stuck. So we do a lot of habit building, and we do habit stacking for most people, because we want to start simply. Because for anybody who's gone through stress and anxiety and trauma, trying to pack on more is just more. So it doesn't matter what you do. And understanding that, and when I worked with Maria to help grow my business and get into the right footpath, she really had me hone in on what my specialty was and get really true to myself about where I was, what I was doing. And then it's just been a journey ever since then of making mindset shifts. So I do this work constantly. I do it with I get coached by my business partner. I get coached by another mentor, because even as a coach, as a high level coach that I am, you still need other coaching. Like, it never ends. I never want this journey to end, because you get to break yourself open and really see what you're about. And if there's one thing that people that holds them back, is taking the responsibility of what they're doing. And it's like, because most women and men do this too, play the blame game. Everything else is about, oh, well, that person did this and he made me feel that. And, like, I've lived the trauma. I've lived through hell a couple of times. It's quite the ride, and I won't recommend it for anybody. But at the same point, you can't sit there and blame the world for what's going on in your business, what's going on in your personal life, what's going on in your mindset. Because at the end of the day, you have a choice. You have a choice to step up. You have a choice to grow your business. You have a choice to be fearful. I am fearful all the time. Every time I have to learn something new, I sit there and go, again? Again? Oh my God. Like again? And then
I
I
know.
won't lie, there's tears. I cry. I like stomp my feet and have a
Yeah.
tantrum. And then I have a cup of tea and then I sit my ass down and I'm like, all right, let's figure it the fuck out because
And you do. And you do.
right. Yeah, no one's going to do it for me.
Right. So
Uh,
let me ask you a question, Pen.
yeah.
Just share with everyone, like, what were, when we started working together, like you were in a
Mm.
transition. When we first met,
Oh,
you
yeah.
were just going from off, like being in a brick and mortar in your business to going online. Like, you know, just
Yeah.
share with them, like, what was the biggest struggle and the biggest breakthrough you had to transitioning? And then, of course, all the juicy stuff that came afterwards.
Yeah. The hardest thing for me is all of a sudden not having like 17 referrals every day. Right. Like my clientele, and I have some clients who I was with my client yesterday, we were laughing. It's been 22 years I've been training her. Right. So I had clients that were like, 23 to like 15 years. And then all of a sudden pandemic and nothing. And now all of a sudden they're like, I don't want to be online. Right. And it's just like, and they're older and they were like not getting it. And they were just like, ah. So to go and all of a sudden have to project myself and sell my wares and, talk about who I am and brag a little, which I don't do well, shockingly. I'm a lot of an introvert. I know they're not going to take that away from this.
Penny. You grew a hell of a business. I mean, from the beginning to not being clear to just having an idea and a vision, then we crafted that. We took it, we turned it around. And you were able to move to Costa Rica. You're living like the ideal life that people want. They want to be able to live a laptop lifestyle, take their brilliance and do it. Like, what would you say to someone who's thinking about doing this, but they're on the fence, they're kind of afraid? You
got to just jump in. Yeah, listen, it's fearful. Like I get it. Being vulnerable and being open to learn and open to try new things is huge vulnerability, and it's fearful. And most people will shy away from that. But the second you do the thing you don't want to do, that's where the reward is at the end. And I've had to learn that the hard way because I don't learn a lesson any other way than the hard way. So it's just like, right. And Maria, you kept saying to me all the time, like, just be authentic, like listen to your intuition. So it was finally like really, every time I've had a decision, write it out on paper, look at it. What's the question? What's my body telling me? And you really taught me that, to really listen to my gut instinct. So when my business partner went, why don't you just come to Costa Rica? And I went, okay. And then it was just make a plan. And then once you decide, that's the scary part. The scary part's the decision and getting clear. Once you do that, you make your list of what you have to do, action steps. And then you just put a date to those because you're setting a goal, right? And we talk about this and people think it's so like, what's the big deal? But if you write that down and have a date and you set that date, it's amazing what gets done. Like, it's amazing. Yeah.
So if anyone's thinking of working with me, Penny, what would you suggest to them? Because I know there's a lot of people who are watching this they're on the fence, because I get it. I've been there too. It's an investment. It's time. They have to commit to it. You've walked the walk with me. You know what it's like. What would you share with them just on a personal note? Well, listen, Penny's not getting paid. She's just here sharing.
I'm here from the love, honestly. Maria said, can you do this? I was like, yeah, clear my schedule. Absolutely. But so before I answer that, I want to have people think about this. If you're not going to commit to yourself, how do you expect people to commit to you? Right. So like, of course, when I wanted to grow my business, because I'm committing to me, like, I get that I have 17 other things I could spend my money on, but like, how is that going to help me grow? So of course, committing to signing up with you, I don't know why people would hesitate. No, I get it. I understand why people would hesitate. They're like, oh my God, but it's money. And I have so many things to purchase, and you don't. I'm going to call everybody bullshit, because when you really look at where you put your money, it's mostly bullshit. I don't know about you guys, but Amazon used to come to my house during the pandemic every freaking day. I didn't need half of that. I didn't need any of it, let's be honest. But if you really look at where your money's going, why would you not put it towards yourself to grow a business to, in the end, actually have better financial freedom? So,
and you did that.
look,
You did that.
I
You are
did.
the epitome of results, results, results. And I'm always so proud of you. You make me want to cry because
Oh,
literally I can remember like our first conversations. I remember all of it, and we've become friends, and it's been a journey. And I can tell you, guys, anyone who's watching this, the power in Penny is like unbelievable. And I'm just so proud of you.
I appreciate that.
And I'm just grateful that you.
Thank you. It was a struggle. And listen, like if you really want something bad enough, you'll find the money. End of story. At the time I didn't have much because of course I lost all the business, but I scraped together what I needed to pay for having Maria coach me, and tenfold back.
Yeah, the ROI. So return on investment, right? Me too. I remember hawking, I remember hawking one of my rings for my first, but you know what? When I think back, that was the best decision of my life. So Penny, I love you. Just share with everyone how they can connect with you if there's anything that they would love to work on with you and their personal journey. So just let them know where they can connect with you, where they can find you. And I love you, and I'm so grateful.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, you can find me on Facebook under my name, Penny Hounsome. Not my cousin in England. So if you find the one that's, me doing yoga, that's it. Also, we have a website, luxliferetreat.ca, .ca for real, because we're a Canadian-based company. Well, we were. So yeah, it's luxliferetreats.ca, and then we have our retreats, we have our coaching, we have our group, our Unstuck group there, all the information, email, everything that's there. So yeah, that's where you can find me, and I'm about to go into that website today and then make some changes actually. Like, because everything changes as things evolve. Like, everything changes as it evolves. So yeah, I'll be going in there and making some changes today.
Well, thank you, Penny.
So,
I love you.
Thank you
for coming.
Love you
and thank you for sharing your story. Keep doing it. I'm so excited for you. Doing a great job.
Thanks. Love you.
Bye, honey.
Bye.
So guys, the bottom line is this. I always like to have one of my clients come on when I do these live workshops, for the simple reason that I could sit here and talk 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 10 days, but I want you to see that it's possible for you. So when you're ready, it's possible for you. If you're ready today, I'm inviting you in. Again, I don't sell anybody anything. I simply offer you an invitation. I'm inviting you in to my Brilliant Business Reinvention program. It's today's bonus. Yesterday, I forgot the damn bonus. Today's bonus, you get an extra month of consulting. So it's a 6-month program. You get a free month of consulting with me, which is another $3,000 value if you register by midnight tonight. So please, give yourself the gift if you're ready to take this step. And if you're not really sure, just book a call with me, like get on the phone with me for 10 minutes and let me help you get clarity, or help you at least get to some type of result. You don't have to make that commitment if you are not ready, but if you are ready, I'm here for you. So I'm sending you lots of love and light. Focus on you. And please take advantage of that 10-minute free consultation with me. You have everything to gain and nothing to lose. And again, if you want your dreams to come true, just like Penny did, you know what to do. Sign up. I love you guys. Does anybody have any questions before we sign off for today? Anybody want to drop me questions in the chat? Otherwise, I'm going to be in the Facebook group and on TikTok later answering your questions live. Okay, guys? So if you want to ask me anything, I'm here. Nope, no questions. Okay, perfect. I love you guys. I will talk to you later. Take care. If you want to register, you know what to do. Have a great day. Love you guys. Bye.